Hello?
Hello, Cheryl?
I'm here.
Okay, let me try this again. Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show here out of Toronto, and we have a very special guest. She is the founder of Fit for Business. Sorry, let me do that one more time. I'm going to start again. Sorry.
That's okay.
Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show out of Toronto. We have another inspirational speaker on the line. She is the founder of Fit for Business. Please welcome Cheryl Rankin to the show. How are you doing, Cheryl?
I'm great, thanks. I'm glad you invited me back. I appreciate that.
Oh my gosh, no, we've got a long history. We have we've been, connecting through networking, and I know you've been on the show 2 times now, the video part of the show, so we're always happy to see you, and you always come with a wealth of information, and I know you're going to bless us again with some more great information for business owners. So tell us a little bit about your background on how you got into Fit for Business. When did that start?
10 years ago, actually. So what happened is I worked in the fitness world for a very long time. Been there, done every job inside a fitness center you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is when we moved from Boston, we're Canadian, but we were moving home to Canada, and I had to choose. What did I want to do? Open a fitness center or do something else. So I decided to go into business consulting. In the fitness world, I had some huge results. And so I got pretty excited that I could help people. I took a fitness center from 200 to 3,000 members and doubled the profit of a different one and stuff.
Fantastic.
And I thought, hey, if I can help small businesses do this, that would be a huge impact on people.
Absolutely. And then the rest is history. So you've taken that knowledge and you've run with it. And this is how Fit for Fitness business came along.
Exactly.
Okay.
So at the very beginning, I was thinking it was only for personal trainers and nutritionists and massage therapists, but I've got customers in every category, accountants and interior designers and financial planners and manufacturers. Doesn't matter what industry.
Mm-hmm. Everyone has come on board, and they're there to be mentored by you. And I'd like to find out something from you, Cheryl. I'm an entrepreneur, and I network with many entrepreneurs. And 2015, I think for a lot of us was a challenge, and I think we need a little bit of encouragement going into 2016 in terms of, how to come up with a strategic plan to, work with sales, marketing, whatever area maybe is needing improvement. So what kind of New Year's business resolutions can you maybe inspire us with?
Awesome question this time of year. So basically, think of your New Year's resolutions in your life. Lots of people in life say, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds.
Exactly.
And so first thing they said was, I have a goal. I want to lose 10 pounds. In the business world, a lot of times we survive day to day without ever actually setting goals. Because nobody asked us to do a budget because we didn't need to borrow money from the bank. And we just sort of float along. So number one, I'd set a goal. And so the goal is usually a financial goal. And, I want to make $10,000 a year. I want to make $100,000, whatever the number is. I have one contact who was very nervous about setting her goal because she felt very selfish and it was inappropriate to make too much money and all those things. And so what she ended up doing was she set her goal based on how much money she wants to donate. So she decided that, 10% of all her profits she wants to donate to charity. And then she said, I want to donate $10,000 to charity. Now she was 100% comfortable setting a goal of making $100,000.
Okay, because she knew 10% of that would go back to charity. Okay.
So you've got to figure out how to set that goal. And the next step is write it down. You don't have to tell the whole world, but write it down. And then the next piece is to break it into what needs to get done. So if you tell me that you need to make $500 a week, and every appointment you do is $100, then quite easily we say you need to have 5 appointments a week.
Okay.
Math's easy. But if the other piece of the puzzle is you have to have 2 coffee meetings a week to get one of those paid appointments, now you need to squeeze in 10. I'm still here.
Gotcha.
So you need to squish in 10 coffee meetings,
right,
and the 5 billable meetings in your week.
Now, how do you record these goals? Should you write them down or just keep mental notes? What's the best way?
For a lot of people, we create an Excel chart so that you can actually figure out exactly what you need. And I've done this process with so many people. And one of the funny things is, I swear that out of everybody that I've done it with, which is lots and lots of people, most people need to talk to 15 live bodies a week. So make 15 proactive phone calls a day. 15 proactive phone calls a day to a live body, not a voicemail. You'll meet your goals.
Fantastic. Okay.
So definitely.
So setting smart, achievable goals, definitely.
Is the first piece. And the second piece is the part we were just talking about, the plan, is to figure out what you need to do.
Okay.
And the third piece I would do is figure out a buddy. Now, it could be a business consultant, or it could just be a business friend.
Okay.
A friend who works 9 to 5 is not going to get it or understand. But you could have a business buddy who's going to help convince you to go to some networking events, or is going to ask you if you made your phone calls, or is going to ask you if you sent out that proposal, and you can be accountable to each other.
Okay, so you have a business buddy who is accountable to you. They make sure that you're doing your laundry list of goals for your business every week, or however times you want them to check in and make sure that you're achieving those goals.
Right. And you and your friend could have a little bit of a contest and be like, okay, whoever doesn't do their phone calls has to buy the other one lunch.
Yeah, you can make it fun. Yeah.
You can make it fun somehow. Speaking of lunch, have a reward. I always say, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. It could be, if I do all of this stuff, I get to read a book on Saturday. So it doesn't mean we have to go shopping for shoes every weekend when we do a good job, but it does mean you need to do something that's positive.
That's positive, that rewards you for keeping to the goals. Now, mine would be a pedicure.
Oh, there you go.
Because I'm always standing, I'm always walking, pounding the pavement, so that's what I need to, treat myself to. That's my reward.
Exactly. I had one customer that hated putting business cards into the computer, like putting the contact information in.
Right.
And so what we did is we figured it out. Every time she put a business card in, she put a quarter in a jar. And that was actually her fun money. And, she'd get lots of, if you put in 100 cards, it's 100 times 25 cents. All of a sudden you've got $25. If you put in 500 cards, you've got a lot more money. And she could just do whatever she wanted with that money because she didn't have to pay somebody else to do that.
Okay. Now that's very smart. I like that. Definitely. That'll keep you on track for sure.
So the other thing I do is make sure that people break it into daily small chunks of things to do. So if you said, I want to run a marathon, well, you can't do the marathon the first day.
Right.
You have to work your way up to it.
You got to train.
If you've never made phone calls, you might find somebody to be your buddy. You might find a coach. And the first day you make 2 phone calls. And the second day you make 2. But by the end of the week, you're making 5 or 10 a day.
Okay.
And your confidence is building up. But it's in small enough chunks that you don't panic. Because if I tell you to make 100 phone calls today, you're going to just be overwhelmed and probably not do any.
Got it.
So no matter what it is, whether it's writing a book, if you just say, oh, God, I have to write a book today. Well, that's worse than writing an essay for school. So you want to be able to, like, I'm writing one chapter today. Or I'm writing, creating one chart.
Well, I think what you're saying and what I'm picking up is that you're setting achievable goals so that you're not setting yourself up for failure. And this is something that a lot of people tend to do, is that they overestimate just their strength and the amount of work that they can put into their priority schedule for the day, and then they end up sabotaging themselves because it's just not possible to do 20 things in 1 hour. You have to do at least maybe one or two good things. So that's why they feel like they've failed, and then they don't even want to move forward because of just like unrealistic thinking. So I think as a coach, what you try to do is to get people to change their mindsets and to understand that just little chunks every day, just chipping away, can do a lot more than big chunks taken in every day. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree. And the other thing, when you mentioned 1 hour, is focus. If I give you 1 hour to write a letter, you'll manage to get a letter done in 1 hour. If I give you the same letter in 8 hours, it's going to take you 7 hours and 3/4 to get it done. You're going to use the amount of time that you blocked. So the letter that was done in 1 hour is probably 95% as good as the one that took you 8 hours.
Got it.
So now you have to decide, do I really need to spend 7 extra hours for that little bit of difference? Sometimes you don't. You just have to focus, because if I'm talking to you right now and trying to do emails, I'm not going to do a great job.
No, you're distracted.
But if I just talk to you, then I should do a better job. And that's true for any piece that you're working on, whether it's filing or your bookkeeping or phone calls or emails. If you focus, it goes much faster and it's better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's just recap what we've got so far. The first one is to have a goal, and then the second is to have a plan, implement this plan, and then third, to have a business buddy who, is on the same kind of wavelength in terms of what you're doing and will be accountable for, making sure these goals are met. And then the fourth is to focus, is to keep your eyes on the prize.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So here's one more piece of the puzzle. You mentioned mindset earlier about breaking things into small bites. It's also mindset on being positive. In the fitness wellness world, when you switch to thinking healthy and healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, trying to be active, it's a whole mindset all day long. So when I go to order lunch, I hesitate ordering the soft drink and I buy a bottle of water.
Right.
At supper, I hesitate buying the dessert. I might still not be perfect, but I'm paying attention all day long.
Okay.
And I'm thinking I'm a healthy person. In the business world, you have to say, I'm a successful business person, but you have to think about it all day long. So it's not just, in the morning I'm going to do this, because in the middle of the day, are you going to stop and get sidetracked and go read your favorite novel for the day? You have to say, okay, am I working 8 hours a day? Or am I working 4? Whatever the number is, stay focused. But it's the whole thing. And so when you go to write that email, does it match your business vision? That, when you go to make the phone call, are you professional on the phone? Everything matches and lines up because it's the attitude. I'm a successful business person. I'm positive I can succeed. I can't say the word.
No, I understand what you're saying. So it's about consistency, right? So if you believe that you are a success in business, then your behaviors will match that up. But you have to, align that with the focus and believe that you can't be successful and then by 1 o'clock it gets sloppy in every other area. So you just have to be very mindful, like you said, about the choices you make, the choices on who you associate with, the choices on how your demeanor, the choices of what you take in terms of what you're reading, how you are educating yourself. So that's all very mindful behavior.
Correct. At some point way back when, somebody used to say, "Fake it till you make it."
Exactly.
It's if you want the job that wears a suit, then you have to wear a suit.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing here, like you were just trying to recap, and it's sort of the whole picture. All comes back to being positive, believing that you can succeed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you do when your mindset is positive? You are trying to attract what you need to build your business, but you are around naysayers. How do you deal with that as a business owner?
Number one, go back. Do you have a plan that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of your background, your thing holding you up, giving you strength.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody says, "Oh my gosh, that's impossible," part of you has to go back to the plan and say, "Wait a minute, no, my plan makes sense," and use that as part of your confidence. The other thing is to also put some people on your team that are on your team and are coming at it from a positive side. Now, they might not give you praise every time because you can come up with some weird, wacky ideas, and you want them to tell you the honest truth. But they're not negative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're not just naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got naysayers in your house or in your family or something, or your best
Mm-hmm.
friend, then surround yourself in the business world with people who are not, people who are positive, people
Mm-hmm.
who are supportive,
Mm-hmm.
people who might collaborate with you. So it helps balance things out. Because if somebody has a 9-to-5 job and they get a paycheck every time, no matter what happens, they could work at half speed, they could work at full speed, nobody cares, nobody notices.
Right.
They do not understand a small business owner and why we go to an event in the evening or why we decide to check our phone on a Saturday morning.
Right.
They don't get it.
No.
And so sometimes it's just to remember they don't get it. And it's just...
And that's okay. Just accept it and move on, yeah. And don't get frustrated in the knowing that they don't accept what you do. And that's okay. It may come or it may not, but the pursuit is about your happiness and the passion for your business, and nothing else should really sidetrack you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very true. Well, these are gems, definitely, and I'm sure that many of the, all of the listeners who are involved in business will definitely take this to heart and to, be able to utilize them right away, like I'm going to do. Just from listening to you, I'm feeling, encouraged. And I think that's really important too, for business owners to know that there is support out there, and you're definitely, one of those coaches. And I think you've got workshops, throughout the year. Do you have something coming up in the new year?
I have a couple going through City of Toronto.
Okay.
One is how to start a consulting business. That one's online, as well as will be done in person a couple times. I'll be doing my sales workshop and marketing workshops in the new year as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. And if you want to connect with Cheryl Rankin for the wonderful pearls of wisdom that she has, please call her in Toronto at 647-287-0320. That's 647-287-0320, or you can go to her business website, which is fitforbusiness.ca. That's FITFOR business.ca. And Cheryl, the Nikki Clarke Show is about transforming lives one story at a time. What inspires you?
What inspires me? Oh, dear.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a backwards way, one thing that inspires me is stores out of business. I get very focused that I want to get everybody's business up and growing and make sure that everybody has a successful business. And the other thing that I absolutely love is when somebody says, I'm excited about my business again. That totally makes sense.
Yes. That's amazing. Well, I want to thank you again, Cheryl, for taking the time to share some great information with us. Some New Year's resolutions that I'm going to be putting into practice, and I'm sure many others who are listening will do the same. And I'd love to have you back on the show. And your interview, the video interview that we did not too long ago, will be out very shortly, so you can share that with your network, and you'll see Cheryl in person doing what she does best, and that's really moving the business community to the next level. So again, Cheryl, thanks so much for being on the Nikki Clarke Radio Show.
Well, Happy New Year to everyone, and business success. Let's go.
Thank you. Happy holidays and all the best in business and personal success for you too. Thanks, Cheryl.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.